Human design isn't just fun and insightful. It is that. But I have been changing my working relationships with everybody I work with, whether it is a client or a coach, one of my coaches or one of my mentors that I work with. I have been sharing this with them. So let me show you what I have been sharing. And actually, let's start here. Before I get ahead of myself here, let me show you a few things about who I am if you haven't been following along. I am a generator and I have lots and lots and lots of energy. There's no doubt about it. Let me show you right here. I've got so much going on down here. I have so much energy. I have to burn it. And that's sometimes what people don't understand. So sometimes I might work with somebody and they're really afraid of me burning out. And the only way I burn out is when I don't lean into my satisfaction. And when I don't wait to respond. And when I don't, in our solar plexus, write out my emotional waves. It takes me sometimes longer than other people to decide what's the next thing that I'm going to be doing. As long as I adhere to those, I have so much energy, I have leftover. As a matter of fact, if I don't do enough and lean into these things that especially what give me such wonderful satisfaction, I can't sleep at night. So I kind of have the opposite. I will burn out if I'm not doing these kinds of things, but I'll also burn out if I do less. So that's not the same for everybody. Not everybody is exactly the same. So I am a generator. Hi, I'm Trisha. I'm a generator. I am a 6-2 profile. I have a solar plexus or emotional authority, and I wait to respond. So I don't always initiate. I wait until things come to me. That doesn't mean that I don't ever start something. Sometimes it looks like initiating, but it's actually I'm responding to something that's come to me. And I lean into satisfaction. That's what I do. And let me show you some of the practical ways that I have been using human design. So this is something that I have. Let's see if we can move this down here a little bit more, less intrusive. This is what I've put together, and I have given it to, like I said, the people that I work with. It helps them to know how to work with me, and I don't have to explain myself as much. And it's all there in a way that makes it a lot easier for somebody else to kind of digest and kind of understand. And I don't have to think about it in the moment. I just hey, I got this thing. This is about me. This is about what it's like to work with me. And I've done it for other people too. And it's really cool. Sometimes I've been in a group doing a collaboration, and we'll do this for each other, and then we'll cross-reference, and so that we can see how we best support each other and how we lean on each other's strengths. All of a sudden, it takes a lot of that guesswork or where you're just unsure. It helps to solidify things. It's a great way of starting. It gets us there a lot faster. And I find we really honor each other. It's not like somebody, sometimes you think, are they really making that up? Or is that really true? And I'm sure we all have that, right? So let me show you how I kind of start that. I'm pulling up, this is a chat that I have in ChatGPT. I do a lot in ChatGPT, and I do a lot of what I call walking rambles, I guess, or doodle walks, sometimes I call them. And I go walk with trees and in nature, and I whip up my phone and I do text to talk to it. And I just let it go in any way that it comes out. I don't edit. I don't add punctuation. I don't care if it misspells things or anything at all like that. And I filter it into chat, and because it'll sort everything out for me. It doesn't care about punctuation. So, anyway, so I have information about me that I put in here. I have all of my research that I've put in here. I even have a custom bot that I've created that's all about me and my design as well. And this is one that was made with that custom bot, so I didn't have to put quite as much as everything in here. But so I put some prompts in here and got a little bit of information. I massage it. I fine tune it. It's never right the first time. At least I don't think so. And I'm also a creative at heart. I like iteration. Even if I think, wow, that's really good. But I wonder if we did it this way. And I want to see it 5 different ways before I decide the direction that I go in. And so that's just kind of how my process works, because sometimes the third or the fourth one is actually the really good one. And sometimes you end up combining a couple of them. So I go through and I give extra prompts and I keep going back. You'll see a lot of this is the same words over and over. And I also put in some things that that are other things that I know are relating to me. I call it marketing. It just means that for me, it's like attracting. It's who we end up talking to and how somebody talks to me. So who I'm meant to work with, as well as who might be meant to work with me. And they're just general guidelines. And I also put in extra things in here that are related to me, like more concrete things. That's a lot of what's on my doodle walks that I do. And so I'll just keep adding into it, going through it. And yeah, I work with got my initial prompts that I use, and then I go through. And so that is what this came from. All my research. And then that. And you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that kind of work for myself. And that's okay. You can come work with me. I'll be happy to do it for you because I love doing this stuff. It's very much up my alley. But what it's done for me is it saved me so much work on other things, and I got to know myself. I got to see myself. It's kind of like when you write that bio, you have to go through and you have to really think about what are the things about me. Oh, I forgot about this. Or when you do a self-evaluation. So the last time I did a self-evaluation when I was working for a company, I had to call my sister a few times. I'm like, I'm supposed to write down all the things that I accomplished for the year, and I just can't quite remember some of them. And she would remind me of things that I had told her about. And after a while, you're just like, oh my gosh, I did all this stuff. And like, oh yeah, this is the area that I remember. That was like a little bit hard. Maybe there's something there I can work on, or that I can add or pursue if I decide that I want to. And so making this whole thing really gave me so many insights into me. So it was as much of a gift to me as it was to anybody else. So I put down, things that were about me, and then how I work with others, the things that bring me alive. So, for example, like one of the things is I lead by example, not by instruction. People often look to me for guidance, trusting the wisdom I've gained through lived experience. I hold space for others to uncover their own clarity and truth, creating an environment where growth feels natural and easeful. So now the key thing is that for me to communicate whoever I'm working with, especially if it's like somebody who's guiding me on business or marketing, is that no, I lead by me being the example. I don't instruct and tell people what to do. That's just not me. I don't work as well like that. And I have a lot of evidence in my life of when that worked and when it didn't work, like why it worked and why it didn't work and the ways that I did it, and how I see it going forward. So, I put in here also, I'm a guide and a hermit. I am. 6 is more of that guide, and the hermit is more of that 2. I'm a 6-2. A dynamic that can be hard to explain, but essential in how I operate, because I need that time to go away. So sometimes if I'm in a group program, I'll disappear. It seems like I'm disappearing. I'm not. I'm just doing my own thing. And I might be getting information from that, but it looks like from their point of view that I have disappeared, but I haven't disappeared. I need solitude. So these are things. Recognize how I need solitude. I also value my emotional waves, so I'm probably not making a decision right away. I am going to take time with it. Present opportunities without pressure, so that I can kind of ease into them. And celebrate my joy in the process, because sometimes it's harder for me to see that. And it's the satisfaction of doing and creating from alignment that fuels me. It's not numbers and metrics. So as soon as they say, you need to do this X number of times, otherwise you're not going to get there, I'm out. I'm done. That does not work for me. It's not how I work. And so I market through response. I create from flow, and creativity is really important to me. And I only do it when I am aligned, because if I create from a forced place, it goes sideways real fast. And building relationships over transactions. That's also that's more me. I have a slower pace in business. I am not one that you can give me the framework and then boom, I'm on my way. I know people that it works for. I think it's amazing to watch them. That's not me. Mine is a slower thing, but mine it has its own flavor, its own rhythm. It's mine. That's all the difference is. So, and then, what attracts me, to connect with me in ways that resonate. It helps me to speak in the core elements of my design. And so the line 2, which is the hermit, the line 6, which is the role model. And I have a fair amount of line 3 in mine. I'll show you where that is. So when I come over here to my activations by line, I have more line 3 activations. Even though I'm a 6-2, I have more 3 line activations. That means I love to experiment. I like that process of going through for the experience of the experiment. And then I also like to give the contrast. What doesn't resonate with me? And high pressure tactics, they don't work for me because a lot of that is about initiating. And if we come back over to my design, I am not here to initiate. I'm here to wait to respond. So how do I craft more ways so that I can respond? That's one of the things that I'm really on. Like, how do I set up more opportunities for me to respond? What can I do on my end? And then rigid formulas or step-by-step plans, they don't work for me. Focus purely on outcomes, that does not work for me. It's the process, the experience that drives me. Excessive initiation, that kind of goes back to the other. I don't like to be the one who initiates. And it's not that I'm afraid. It just, when I force it, when I initiate, it just doesn't go as well. So I have to look at, even if it's something as simple like on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn a lot. So you can follow me there if you're not there. If you haven't, maybe you are there. I'm just going to skip over that. You know what I mean? So, if I send DMs, it works better if I'm responding to something. So that could be, somebody posted something. I really like their post. So you know what? I'm going to reach out to them. I'm responding to what they put out from their post. Sometimes it might be, oh, that's such an interesting thing. And I've read it somewhere on LinkedIn, but it made me think about somebody else. So now I'm responding to all of that. And so I am sending a DM, which is kind of like initiating, but it's motivated by a response of something. But if I go on LinkedIn and say, you know what, I'm going to sell out my program. So let me type up some DMs and get some people, which we all know that stuff doesn't really work so well anymore. Don't spam people with your offers. No one wants them. Or what do they call it? Pitch slapping. It's not the way to go for the most part. But even if I do it in a gentle way, like sometimes there's things that come up. Hey, I saw your post. I thought you might, whatever. As soon as I start pushing my products onto somebody, it doesn't go well. I've tried it. It does not go well. So I don't do that anymore. Enough is enough. Like, there's a way that I can figure out how to do it in my way. Emphasis on discipline or consistency does not work for me because that creates friction, frustration. I am here for satisfaction, not frustration. And I'm leaning into, I want to feel really good about when I'm doing it. So, and the more I feel good about doing it, the more apt I'm to keep doing it. So one of the words that I use a lot is not discipline or consistency. I use persistency. Can I be persistent at it until I feel like I need to pivot? And then when I need to pivot, I need to pivot. And one of the things that I have a lot of history with, especially habit trackers, I fixate on the scorecard. And, whether it's a spreadsheet or a habit tracker or something of that, I lose the spirit of what it's supposed to be. I know this is my distraction, and I've found there's a way around it, and that's just leaning into my satisfaction. And so that is what I put together, but it all came from learning about my human design. This is what you can do for your real world when you start studying your human design.